Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's the Kitty G, and I'm back again with another video on EGTV. And how you guys doing? I hope everybody's well. Hope everyone's doing well on this beautiful day, August 5th. I'm lying. It's raining over here in the UK. I hope it's better for you guys wherever you are. You know what? I was just thinking this summer has been a roller coaster ride. We've been linked to Granit Xhaka leaving, Granit Xhaka staying. We've been linked to Awar, nothing's happening. We've been linked to Martinez, nothing's happening. We're linked to James Maddison, nothing's happening yet. Saliba ended up going on loan. We bought Ben White. So much stuff's happening, but the window's not done. And I know today you guys were supposed to be getting a special guest, but the special guest could not come. We're rescheduled for the second. We rescheduled for next Tuesday with Mo. We're going to be trying to get Eduardo Higgins on. We're going to be trying to get Babs on. I'll message Liv, see if he can come on or get some special guests coming on in the next coming weeks. But today we're going to be talking about the transfer stories. We're going to be talking about all the transfer stories. So let's get into it as we speak. First of all, we're going to be talking about Ben White. Why did I say Ben White? I'm sorry. Old habits. We're going to be talking about the preseason game that we played against Chelsea, looking back at it slightly and how we play in our formation. We're going to be talking about the transfers. James Maddison to Arsenal. We're going to be getting into all of that. We're going to also talk about Awar. It looks like there's a bid pending. Awar's camp is just waiting for a bid to be sent in to Lyon, and they feel like the deal for Lyon and Arsenal could be agreed upon quite easily. Also, we're going to get into Joe Willock. There seems to be some movement on the Joe Willock situation, so we're going to talk about that. All this and more on today on EGTV. So let's get used to it. Let's get ready, and let's get this show started the right way, people. You already know how we do it. Let's get this shit on the road. Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. Bang. Yes, people. So I got my guest. Yo, sir, what are you wearing, bro? What is that? What are you wearing? Man's wearing a shower cap. What is that? Okay. Okay, you need to go get a haircut, bro. I don't know what that is on your head, but you need to switch that up. If that's swag, okay, we'll see. But yo, big up to everybody. What?
Kind of that's swag too.
All right, big up to everybody watching from Africa. Big up to everybody watching on Arsenal Inside Out on my Twitter page and on YouTube. Today we're going to be talking about a bunch of transfers. I got Willow here. Willow making his debut. Big up to Willow in the chat. Willow, what are you saying? You're muted, bro.
Shit, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Happy to be here and happy to talk about Arsenal today and just ball in general.
Go. Tell me, bro, how did you become an Arsenal fan?
Family. My dad supports them. My brother supports them. So it's, just through the family, generations of Arsenal fans.
There you go. Generations of Arsenal fans led you on the right path to supporting Arsenal. I like that. What about you, Sir Adult?
For me, I would say a specific player actually made me a fan because that player was actually loved by my dad, Kanu Wanko, if you remember him. So when he signed for Arsenal, I just had to go with him. You understand, all the way. So from there, I started watching Arsenal and I fell in love. So that's it.
There you go. Your audio is very, very low, my friend. If you could try sorting that out somehow, just let me know. We can hear you, but it's very, very faint. Like we can't hear you clearly. Okay. Just to let you know, there's no feedback if you don't have headphones. You don't need headphones. You can just unplug them if you have headphones in. We can't hear you properly. Then we got Sahal here and Muhtin. Muhtin and Sahal are staples now. They've been here for a while. You know Muhtin, my guy all the way in Turkey, and you got Sahal, the guy in the Midwest. Kind of always being negative, but you know what? He's not negative. He's being a realist. I like it. Right, Sahal?
What's up, man?
All right, let's get this show started. People, do me a favor, guys on Twitter and guys on Facebook, come join the full video on YouTube. You can check that out. The link is underneath the link where you're watching this right now. So go do that. And Thank you guys for tuning in for the beginning of the video. Now let's get our work underway, people. The first thing that I'm gonna do, if you guys don't know, there's a guy on Twitter named Matthew, right? And his at is _half_space. So go check out Matthew _half_space. He does these threads. They're amazing threads where he talks about Arsenal and he talks about everything in regards to what's going on at the club. And after games, he does match reactions. So here's some of the things that I want to talk about. So this was the lineup going into the Chelsea game, right? And I'm just going to go through some of this stuff quickly. We're just going to look at how we played. So if you can see, when we were building up, we played in a formation that was similar to a 3-2-5 at times, where you had a bunch of your guys. We had a bunch of your guys at the top of the pit, at the top of the line when we're in attack, and you almost have Chambers tucking in as a third center back, and that could work if we don't get a right back. We could have Chambers or Cedric tucking in at times with Partey and Elneny playing deeper, or Partey and Lokonga, Partey, Xhaka, whatever the combination is, and you have Aubameyang and Smith Rowe working in the channels, where you have Pepe out wide and Kieran Tierney on the other side out wide, right? So this is just some of the things that we're going to have to look at from preseason and say to ourselves, is this something we're going to see a lot more in the coming season? Also, another thing we noticed, in possession, we change our formation again. We more or less have Chambers going into the midfield, and you have Holding and Mari by themselves in that deep role. So these are just some things that we need to pick up as fans, looking at how we play in the preseason, saying to ourselves, how is this going to translate into the regular season when games begin? Because it does look like we're trying to get crosses in from wide areas with Kieran Tierney, and we also have Callum Chambers and all these other guys, and Tavares all doing the same thing. Another thing that I noticed in this game that they spoke about was the defensive structure and how we were pressing, but at times it seemed like our guys were man marking the defenders instead of pressing as a unit and just pressing everywhere. It was more organized. Our press was more organized. You'd see that everybody kind of had a man with their press and how they were pressing. It was almost like each man was man marking one player when they're pressing, so you couldn't lose your defenders or your attackers. Each person had a set person, and they would follow them in their defensive schemes. And that's why when we were behind the ball, you see us in a low block 4-4-2. These are just some of the things that we noticed in this preseason game. There's going to be more things we're going to notice from the last preseason game. Of course, we could speak about the injury. We could speak about the goals. We could speak about Granit Xhaka, Hector Bellerin's mistake. There's so many things that we could talk about, but I would highly suggest you guys check out my guy Matthew's Twitter. Go follow Matthew on Twitter. And if while you're at it, do me a favor, guys. Why don't you go follow me on Twitter at the Kitty G, right? But yeah. That's enough of that. Enough about the Twitter. Let's get into the transfers. That's what you guys came for. Sir Adol, can we hear you now?
Yeah, of course.
Much better. Yeah, much better. Okay, so first story that we're going to get into. We're going to talk about Reiss Nelson and the whole situation of him going to Palace. Do you guys trust Patrick Vieira? And do you think if Reiss Nelson went to work with Patrick Vieira, he would be in safe hands? Because I feel like if he goes to Crystal Palace, that's in the Premier League. It's a good loan for Reiss Nelson. I would be quite happy for him to go to Crystal Palace out of all clubs that he could go to. I personally think Crystal Palace is a great club. Oh, sorry. What happened there?
Main show, isn't it?
Yeah, you're the main guy now. I think Crystal Palace would be a good club for Reiss Nelson to go to. I think if he went to Crystal Palace, he could learn a lot of skills there under Patrick Vieira. I know Patrick Vieira was a midfielder and Reiss Nelson's a winger, but one thing he will be able to teach him is his work ethic and how to do things properly as a professional. At times, Reiss Nelson his professionalism has been questioned. At times, his seriousness has been questioned, and how hard he didn't want to go on loan last year. He wanted to show Arteta he could play. So let's see what he can do right now. And also, Wilfried Zaha can teach him how to dive, says somebody in the chat. so that's always funny. But yeah, we've seen how Eze, who was also in the Arsenal Academy, has gone to Crystal Palace and how well he's done. So let's just talk about not Joe Willock, but Reiss Nelson going to Crystal Palace. I'll start with you. My guy Willow. Do you think Crystal Palace are currently looking at Reiss Nelson on a loan? Do you think this would be a good loan option for Reiss Nelson, and should Arsenal send him on loan?
I think it depends. Obviously, he's only got 1 year left in his deal. So if you're going to send him on loan, you've got to extend his contract first. Otherwise, he'll run out at the end of it and he can go for a free. But if he gets it extended, then yeah, I think it is a good loan. He obviously hasn't had much game time in the last 2 years. He decided not to go on loan last year. And I think that's absolutely hindered him and his, what he could have grown into. Because when it was talked about at academy level, he was talked in very high regards that he's the best academy player there when he was there. So... And what Crystal Palace are doing are very exciting, as you touched on. They've got Eze, they've got Zaha, they've now got Reiss as well from Reading. These are very exciting young attacking players, which definitely looks like they're trying to build on. So I think Reiss Nelson would fit into that. I don't know if they're going to be looking for a 4-2-3-1 with the kind of players they've signed, and Reiss would do well going on that right. So definitely, if we extend his contract, I think it would be a really good move for him, because it looks like Palace are trying to, under Roy Hodgson, they were quite compact and tight. While I think maybe under Vieira, they might be more able to express themselves and play more freely. And I think that would suit Reiss Nelson and his play style.
There you go. You guys heard it there first. Now, let me go to you, Sir Adult. What would you like me to call you? Should I just say Sir?
Any one of them, either sir or adult, anyone. Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Sir. Tell me, what do you think about Reiss Nelson going on loan to Crystal Palace?
What I think about Reiss Nelson, I feel I've heard also links with Hector Bellerin and also over there in Turkey. But for me, I think I want him to go to Crystal Palace because of the Patrick Vieira factor. I mean, this guy was a baller at Arsenal and brought out the best from everybody he played with. So if he's a coach, I expect him to have that aura. You understand, that command in bringing out the best in every player. So Reiss Nelson being a player with potentials, and Patrick Vieira being a leader like he is, I think that's a very, very good match. And if he's pushing for Reiss Nelson, then definitely there's something inside Nelson he sees and he think he can actually bring out that Arteta isn't bringing out. Because for me, I would want to think, like, this is my own idea out of everything. I want to think Reiss Nelson actually loves the club. That is why, for instance, a coach approaches a guy that loves the club at heart and say, okay, could you please come and go on a loan? But I tell you, I want to stay in the club and actually prove all the doubters wrong and make the starting 11 and stuff like that. But because of that reason, for some certain reasons, you just have to put the guy on the side without even giving him a chance, even when William was very terrible. So for me, if he has to go on loan, that's more like, if he has to go on loan, that's more like we're sending him out on a free because his contract is up next season. You understand? So that's it. The move to Crystal Palace is the best move for him. That's what I think.
There you go. Willow, you got fans. My guy Dabaduck saying, is that Willow from Twitter Spaces? I can confirm it is. Now, Sahal, you're next. Sahal, what do you think about this whole situation with Patrick Vieira getting Reiss Nelson on loan? Do you think it's a good move for Reiss Nelson?
I don't, maybe because he's in a year left in a contract. I don't see it happening unless he signs an extension. I'm not sure about Reiss himself, if he wants to try and make it at Arsenal or where his head is at right now. So it's very hard to say where he will go or if he's willing to go on a loan, because last year he said no to it. So I don't know. The difference is right here. And if he feels like he can't break into the Arsenal squad, it's probably worth for him to run down his contract. I know in January he has a chance to sign with another club abroad. But if he's willing to wait until next year, he can go to any Premier League squad. He can go to any Premier League squad in the summer when his contract is run out. So if I was him, I'm not sure what you would do, because the only way Arsenal are willing to put him on loan if he signs an extension. They're not going to put him on loan if he doesn't. So if I was him, If he actually wants to stay at Arsenal, sign the contract, sign a new contract, go on loan, and prove yourself. But if he thinks for whatever reason he can't break in the Arsenal squad, it's probably worth him just sitting out for another year and doing nothing, or tell Arsenal to buy his contract out, or he can even accept a lower payment for his contract buyout if the worst of the worst happens and he's just not willing to stay. So it's a hard situation to be. If I was Reiss, I'd think about it and we see what happens. End of the day, he's not an important member of the squad, so it doesn't really matter in a bigger picture.
Okay, Mahdeen, I think we covered everything there. Did you want to say anything on it, or do you want to just move on?
Let's move on, bro. Let's move on, man.
All right, guys. Enough said about Reiss Nelson. The less said, the better. Now, let's move on to Joe Willock. Situation with Joe Willock has escalated quite quickly. I did not think that I would be coming on here a couple days later saying Joe Willock to Newcastle is pretty much on, but Joe Willock to Newcastle is being prepared to be on. At this moment, Newcastle look like they're preparing a 25 to 22 million pound bid, and Arsenal that would reach Arsenal's valuation or get close enough to Arsenal's valuation where the player might be sold. According to the Telegraph, Newcastle are ready to take the leap of faith to meet Arsenal's price tag for Joe Willock after having an inspirational loan spell at St. James's Park last season. At the back end of last season, his performances helped the team stay up, and he would be a good prospect for them. And they see the youngster as a part of their future going forward. Now they could spend close to 22 to 25 million pounds on Joe Willock. What do you guys think? Joe Willock to Newcastle. Are you selling him or are you keeping him at 25 million? I personally feel like at 25 million, you have to sell because we can get that money and we can reinvest it. But I'm asking everybody here, I'm asking everybody in the comment section, Joe Willock for 25 million pounds, are you selling him or are you keeping him? That's the question that I need to know. So I'm going to start with you, Willow. Are you selling or keeping?
I think the fan base will be quite split on this. Personally, I'm selling. 25 million, if you can also maybe get a sell-on clause for him as well, or maybe even a buyback, but I don't think Joe fits our system. I do really like him, and he's done really well, but you also got to look at it from the player's perspective. At Newcastle, they'll probably build the squad around him after getting 7 goals in a row. Like, he's going to be a main player in their team. While at Arsenal, does he really want to sit on the bench and come off the bench and have like 20, 30-minute cameos? I don't think he probably does. And as you said, if we can sell him for that money and reinvest it in getting the James Maddison, that's completely change and elevate our team, then perfect. Or even for me, maybe even a HOPPE Hour, use that 25 million to get him. And he plays on that left-hand side. And we need more players that can play on that left-hand side because I can't deal with another season of Aubameyang being on left wing. I think someone like HOPPE Hour will fit that position a lot more and complement Tierney. So if I had to, yeah, I would sell Joe.
Okay, we already have 2 people saying so. Plus my so what about you, sir? Are you selling him?
20 million, I'll sell Joe Willock. 18 million, I'll sell Joe Willock. I say this because I'm not trying to downplay him that he's not going to be a good player in future. But I look at all this while I've been watching Arsenal Football Club. I look at his kind of personality, his midfield, the way he plays the midfield. We have never had a player like that for Arsenal. You know, we had Ramsey once that plays the position he plays that is a goal scoring midfielder, but he can play from the left, he can play from the right, he can play also the deep line central midfield role. Joe Willock is more of a Newcastle Burnley kind of player. You understand? Him having the purple patch he had in Newcastle wasn't a surprise to me because I knew that system would actually fit a player like Joe Willock. So it's one of the players we were talking about Nelson right now. It's one of the players that does not fit the system. So we should not be too sentimental about what he did in the previous club he went to and keep him in the squad. No, I feel we should do away with him, put a percentage on him for a resale value that maybe like a 10% or a 15% resale value on him, but that's it. Just get him out of the door. It's not the kind of midfielder we need. We need a dynamic midfielder that can play different roles, not just an attacking midfielder, box to box kind. Nah, that's what I think.
Okay. Sahal, you're selling him?
Actually, I would keep him because we have a midfield issue. Joe Willock, I know he doesn't fit the system currently, but I don't agree with Arteta's system anyway. So personally, I would keep him. I think he's one of the better youth prospects. I think he deserves a chance at Arsenal. And 30 million, selling him for around 30 million, ain't good enough for the English market. I think he's way worth more than that. I think we can get more than that, and that just shows you again how badly the club is run when our best talents are being sold for a little bit of money, and we can get definitely better money for him. Is he good enough for the team? That's a question that I can't really answer because he never really had much. He had a chance, but not a full chance, and most of it was under Arteta. So for me, if it's a different manager, a different situation, I think he would blossom like he has done at Newcastle. So for me, I'll keep him.
Yo, by the way, Messi might go to PSG. Neymar, Mbappe, Messi.
Jesus Christ. And
Crazy.
that.
That's fucked up.
That's something else, man.
Igal, I want to say, Joe Willock, for me, if we want to move forward, we are a big club. If we want to move forward, Joe Willock is not good enough for Arsenal. And 25 million, for me, I'll take even 20, to be honest. If it is 24.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
20,
Okay, so
but the thing is,
Willock-
look, listen, the thing is, he is not at the level of Arsenal, you know. Okay, do you want
he's
him
still
to
young, though.
Yes, he is young, but Joe Willock, I don't think for me he will suit Arsenal. For me, I think Newcastle, West Ham, those type of teams, I think it will be perfect for him. That's why I think for me.
Igel,
Yeah.
can I also add here, Igel, and there's something about people's perspective about saying this player is young, this player is this, this player is that. Joe Willock is in his 20s right now, if I'm not mistaken. But there's something about prospects. You when you look at a player on the pitch, you can easily tell one or two attributes of this player, what it does. That in few months or maybe a year, you're going to see improve on that particular ability to the next level. But when it comes to Joe Willock, what does he really do? Does he have a eye for a pass? No, he doesn't. He hasn't even showed the attribute. He hits the ball for. He has a long range shot. Yes, in lapse concentration is one of his weakness, and he has not improved on that aspect ever since he was introduced into the first team. There are moments where he could be just pass, maybe a simple pass for a tapping, or Aubameyang will be free, and you see these little things he can't actually do. That's why some people, when some people talk about Willock, I say, look at Smith Rowe.
Can I just stop you?
Yeah.
I need to move it on because I feel like we're gonna spend too much time on one topic.
Okay. I understand.
But of course, Joe Willock was one of the many topics. The next topic that I'm going to be discussing is Renato Sanchez. Did you ever think we were actually in front of Renato Sanchez, guys? Because former Arsenal legend says Renato Sanchez is the player that Arsenal should be going after. He's affordable. He played for a team that won the league last year in France, in Lille, and he played for the Portuguese team, the Portuguese side in the internationals. What do you guys think about Renato Sanchez to Arsenal? I don't think it's going to happen, but would you guys take Renato Sanchez to Arsenal? I'm going to throw it to you first, Muhdin. Would you take Renato Sanchez?
Yes, for me, of course, I will take. But the thing is, brother, for Renato Sanchez is an injury prone. You know, that's the only thing. You know, which that I'm saying that no, but he's a good player and he will improve us. But the thing is, he's injury prone, so I would say just because of that, no.
Okay, Willow, what about you?
Doesn't make any sense for me. He's a box-to-box midfielder. You got Thomas Partey, one of the best box-to-box midfielders in the world, and I think he'll show that this in the Premier League season. Like that doesn't make. We need a 6. That's what we need. We need someone who's just going to sit there and let Thomas Partey do what he wants. And we need an athletic player just to sit deep and be able to, you know, pick up the ball, make the tackles. That is not Renato Sanchez. Renato Sanchez, yes, he can do the defensive, but he's also an attacking player. He will get up the pitch and he will drift further up, and his positioning is like that. So it doesn't really make any sense for me. And his price tag, what, would be about 35 million, would you say?
Yeah, it would be upwards of 30 million.
Yeah, but exactly. So personally, no, I would much rather go for someone like Abubakar Kamara or Yves Bissouma.
I don't think Bissouma is happening because Bissouma is waiting for Liverpool to come in for him. Also, Ruben Neves is waiting for Manchester United to currently come in for him. All these players are waiting for bigger, not bigger clubs, but like clubs with better situations currently to come in for them before they accept a move to Arsenal. So we don't have a free hit on a Bissouma or on a Neves. But currently, it seems like Renato Sanchez, we have a free hit if we were to go for him.
I think Abubakar Kamara would be much more suited to us. He's only got a year left in his contract. He's 15 million, and he's also played centre back and right back. And you know our DMs and what they do; they drop into the defensive line. So if he's already played them positions, he'd be perfect for us on our system.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's go next to Sahal. Sahal, you're last. What do you think about Renato Sanchez?
I'm not really sure why we were linked with them in the first place, but I agree with Willow. I think we were not really interested in him. I think it was fake rumors, and it just happens, you know, transfers to get more money, agent talk, and all these kind of things. I think he was more likely to go to Liverpool, but Liverpool want a more defensive kind of player as well. So I'm not sure what's going on with that situation. With the number 6 area, I think we are looking for a Ruben Neves type player. We're looking for Lokonga. So that kind of type of player. With Xhaka staying, I actually doubt we're buying a midfielder now.
Sir, honestly, I would stay longer on the Renato Sanchez topic, but I just feel like it's not, there's not really too much truth to the matter. So I'm gonna move it quickly to the next story. And the next story is, oh man, this is even worse. we're linked to an American kid. I don't know if you guys know anything about him. We're linked to a guy from Schalke called Matthew Hope. He scored 2 goals for Schalke in their season last year. I think he's like 20. He's 20 something. He's a young prospect. He's not played too much football in Europe. He's not that developed yet. But it seems like we'd be buying him to put him within our ranks of our academy, and to be another one of those players that we have within and around the academy. This was originally linked. This link was originally made by, according to 90 Min. They say a whole host of Premier League clubs are after him, in addition to Arsenal. This is an American who played in the Gold Cup, who they recently won the Gold Cup. So I don't know too much about him. I'll tell you this, Matthew Hope, I'd rather have Balogun play, and I'd rather bring through somebody else. I personally don't want to spend 10 million on a Matthew Hope when we already have a lot of young strikers within the ranks. But hey, this is just another one of those players. Has anybody here watched the Bundesliga or seen him?
I mean, I've watched the Bundesliga, but I have not seen him, so I can't comment on him.
Okay, so fair enough. We keep it moving. Just giving the people the information that they need, that they didn't know they need to know. The next story is Tammy Abraham. Tammy Abraham's story keeps changing every single day. One day, Arsenal are in for him. Next day, West Ham are in for him. Today, Aston Villa are in for him because they just sold Jack Grealish for £100 million. So it seems like Aston Villa are in pole position to land Tammy Abraham. Did anybody here actually want Tammy Abraham, or do they even think he's an upgrade to Lacazette?
Egal Aston Villa or Southampton? Which team wants? Like Aston Villa.
Aston Villa.
Abraham.
Aston Villa apparently were in for him, but now that story is bullshit because Danny Ings went there. So Tottenham were also in for him. That story seems like bullshit because Tottenham don't need a striker until Harry Kane is sold, and Arsenal are not going to get a striker in until they sell Lacazette. So my real question is he an upgrade to Lacazette?
I think he's more, I don't know, he's obviously younger. He's got more pace than what Lacazette does have. He's tall, he's 6'5", but he's not that great at heading a ball. That's the thing. Like, we're actually scoring from him. I mean, I don't know what he's like actually winning the headers, and that is something we are very poor at. How many times do you see us do a goal kick and win a header? It's not very often. So I guess Tammy could bring that in. you know, he got 15 goals in the league in his first season for Chelsea when he was, what, 21 years of age? And then last season, before he got dropped by Thomas Tuchel, he was their top goal scorer. So I don't think Tammy's as bad as what people think he is. And he's a different profile from what we have from Aubameyang and Lacazette. And I feel like we are moving away from strikers like an Aubameyang. So there is that, but he's still, for me, still not good enough. Still not good enough for what we want to try and achieve as Arsenal Football Club.
Is anybody here have a case for Tammy Abraham being more, no, not better, but is there anything Tammy Abraham is better than Lacazette besides pace?
Yeah, he's better at footballing ability than Lacazette. I think the main thing for me is he more complete than, say, a Balogun and what we have kind of at home in terms of Martinelli. That's the issue with me. But as a footballer, Tammy is excellent. He's got everything that you would really want in one of those young number nines from an English perspective. He's one of those complete nines, right? When you do look at his statistics as well, he's got 17 expected kind of goals and assists in his first season. He's got great output. He's 23. He's got scope to improve. He's got poor aerial ability, but he's great at linking play, and he's definitely better and stronger than Lacazette from contact behind. The issue that it comes for me has always been, I think we've got better at home, mainly in Gabriel Martinelli, who, if I'm betting on potential, right, why not bet with the one that has greater aerial ability and is more complete as a profile? So for me, I would never do it because I think it blocks people that we have at home that are better. But I think Tammy compared to Laka, I don't think there's a comparison personally. I think Laka's been really poor, to be honest with you. So I think in a direct comparison there, no problem. Tammy definitely takes the cake, but I don't know if he takes the cake potential-wise for what we have at home.
George, I've asked a lot of people, what ability is he actually better than Lacazette in?
Running the channels.
Similar.
Yeah, like running the channels, his strength in terms of dealing with contact from goal too. What you're going to find is Lacazette, he did it in the preseason game. He drops deep behind the halfway line. He doesn't have the legs to get back into the box. You're not going to get that with Tammy. You're going to actually have the ability to link up play and offer that option, but also he will have the legs to get into the box. He also is a more prolific goal scorer, factually, than Lacazette. Lacazette's never scored more than 14 league goals in his best season in the Premier League. So in terms of output, he's absolutely way better at output. He's better at linking the play. He's stronger. The only thing is potentially, arguably, the aerial ability, because they're both not great in terms of that. But yeah, mate, like linking the play, he's stronger back to goal, and he has more output. So
okay, so for you, is it thumbs up or thumbs down on Tammy Abraham?
Thumbs down, because I don't think he's better than a Martinelli for me, who I foresee as a number 9, who's much more complete and who's got aerial ability. So I think we've got better at home.
Okay. What about for you, sir? Is it thumbs up or thumbs down for Tammy Abraham? You're on mute.
He said he has his opinion. I respect that. But for me, Arteta kind of mentioned or linked Arsenal to Jorginho last summer, and everybody was on his neck saying he wasn't good enough. This is one of the players, I think 2 years, 3 years to come from now, you could see the potential is there. We will all sit here and be like, why didn't we get him now? Because Tammy Abraham, 2-3 years with a good coach, he has all the abilities. You could see flashes of it. He will be a top striker. You could see that in him. He knows how. He's very, very physical. He knows how to link play. You understand? It's very, very. It's more like it's very difficult. Like, for instance, I'll give you an instance. You play a team maybe like Burnley. You understand? We don't see any of our strikers get close to them because they are physical at the back. A player like Tammy Abraham, a striker like Tammy Abraham can actually hold his own against them. You understand? And also he's prolific in front of goal. So that's what I think. I think it's a thumbs up for me. Nobody's going to see it now, but 2-3 seasons from now, you're going to see a better Tammy Abraham.
Okay, so you actually think Tammy Abraham's a good signing? Wow.
Yeah, it's a good signing. So a thumbs up.
Okay, Willow.
Well, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Yeah, on Tammy.
I'm with George on that. Thumbs down. I think I think it hinders Gabriel Martinelli and Balogun, and I don't see the point of that. And look, we've got 4 strikers as well. Like, this isn't going to happen unless Eddie and Lacazette both go. So I don't think we've got anything to worry about at the moment.
And even then, mate, I don't even know if I would. Like, I believe so
I
much in
wouldn't.
Martinelli and Balogun that even with, like, I get what you mean though. Like, two have to leave for it to even open up. But even then, I would still say, I don't know.
No, yeah, I'm agreeing. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, let's go on to Sahal. He's already saying no to Tammy Abraham. I know that. And Mahdine's definitely saying no also. So
Bro, for me, big no, because I will say one thing, okay? We have Martinelli, like we have other areas like which are important. Look at right back, seriously. Like Bellerin has already said, please, I want to go. Like he already given the ball away. Like, so we have to get a right back. We have to get a midfielder and a cam. Yeah, before we get a striker for me.
okay, no worries. And then moving on to the next thing. Have you guys seen the update on Lautaro Martinez as a possible Harry Kane replacement if Harry Kane were to leave this summer? I seen that just a few minutes ago, and I was like, this can't be real. Like, they're just linking Tottenham to Martinez just to mess with Arsenal fans. Like, they're not actually looking at him, because I was pretty sure that the new board of director at why do I still have this up? Sorry. The new board of director at Tottenham used to be at Juventus, and he knows that market
Paratici.
quite well. Says, what was his name?
Paratici.
Yeah, Paratici knows that market quite well, and he's looked at a bunch of Italian players, and one of them is Lautaro. So Lautaro is now linked to Tottenham. Here's the exact report, what it says. The exact report says Lautaro Martinez is Tottenham are eyeing Lautaro Martinez as a Harry Kane replacement. The Argentinian has played well for Inter Milan to help them seal their first title in a long time. And the Argentinian also recently won the Copa. Was he playing when they won?
He was actually leading the line as a lone 9, which he doesn't do normally for Inter. He's more of a second striker, but yeah, he was.
And he kind of could do that link-up job that Harry Kane used to do at Tottenham. So they're looking at him as a possible replacement. But this deal is in Arsenal's hands, supposedly. Arsenal are in the driving seat to get the player. It seems like there is nobody else really ahead of us right now in the race for Lautaro Martinez. The only thing that's bothering us is Chelsea are getting closer and closer to finishing the deal for Lukaku. It's almost like to the point where it's done, where some people are saying it's done. They're just waiting for the medical to be booked. But yeah, I'm going to start from the bottom down for this one. Sahal, Lautaro Martinez to Arsenal. First of all, do you believe that Lautaro Martinez deal could happen? Because it is very difficult.
I don't think it's gonna happen. Number one, we got too many strikers at the club right now. Unless Eddie leaves and Laka leaves, we're not gonna buy him. And honestly, I wouldn't buy a striker anyways. I think most of our issues was defensively, mistakes at the back with Leno, Xhaka, Anini, Bellerin. Of course, if you watch the preseason game, that was what killed us last year. And yet again, I think Arsenal are doing a mistake by buying a attacker or a creator this summer, because I don't think we do definitely need those areas, but I think we should stick with our priorities, because our Leno, I don't know what has happened to him. He can't pass more than 5 yards. Bellerin ain't good enough as the right back, and Xhaka ain't good enough as a holding DM. So we need to improve those areas, concentrate on the priorities, and we'll be a much better team for it. Buying James Madison and buying Martinez, that will not increase. We've seen when Aubameyang was killing for us, and see, we missed our top 4. This shows you a team is more important than a player. A team's more. Let's fix the team and then worry about goal scoring, creating goals, and everything else that we need to worry about next summer.
There you go. Martin, do you think this deal could happen?
For me, Sahal said perfectly. Like, even if for me, like, it happens, for me, I would like him, Martinez. But to be honest, we have to solve like the other problems that we have. Like to get a right back. I think we solve the center back problem. But for me, there is another position that we have to get like Cam also. We need So if
Okay,
it
no.
happens, yeah, I will be very happy, to be honest, if it happens also.
Okay, so if it happens, everyone's kind of happy, but I get that. Willow, I'm gonna throw it over to you, but I'm gonna change the question slightly.
Okay.
Do you feel like this deal is too difficult to complete?
Do I think there's still I think it's priorities wise. That's what I think it's down to. I think it's down to priorities, and you know, I think James Maddison is the priority, and he's going to be a similar price to Lautaro Martinez. And we've still got to get a goalkeeper. You still got to get maybe a defensive midfielder. You still got to get a right back. So I don't think it's also, and I don't know really with Inter Milan, but as we've said, Lukaku's going to Chelsea, so. Do they need to sell both strikers? Will they want to sell both strikers? I know if we Inter Milan fans must be losing their shit right now because they've just won the league. They've just lost their manager. They're going to be losing their best striker. They've just lost Hakimi. If they lose Martinez, there's going to be fucking riots.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw it over to you, George. But before I throw it over to you, can you please speak to the people who are saying Aubameyang is finished? Like, come on.
Myself? Yeah, it's hogwash. In the previous 5 seasons before that, he scored 20 plus goals. If you're telling me 1 out of 6 seasons he's scored 13 league goals and assists, and it almost matched Lacazette's best goal tally, and you're telling me he's finished, it's kind of ridiculous to me. He had a poor season. You know, he struggled with, malaria. He struggled with some personal issues off the pitch with his mom. But the idea that he's finished is kind of ridiculous to myself. And people are saying he lost his pace. Just look at how he caught up to Zappacosta over 50 yards in the Chelsea game. So there's just a lot of narrative being played here. I do think he's suffering from a loss of confidence. He's a confidence player. And I think with the returns of fans, he's going to be a lot more clinical in terms of his output. I do agree with kind of some other people that have said it already. Fix what's behind him, and he's kind of the least of our problems. In fact, most of our forwards can score goals. I don't think it's necessarily the actual output right now. It's more getting those final third chances across the line, and we just need a little bit more efficiency, and that's because our midfield is pretty crap at progression. So, no, Oba's not finished. No.
Lautaro Martinez, now, as a Lacazette upgrade, how much of an upgrade is he in comparison to Lacazette?
Night and day. Like, there's not even a real debate, to be honest with you, about it. He is the perfect second striker if you like that profile. Okay, he's very counter-pressy. I wouldn't say he's quite explosive over 5 yards of what you may expect, because I think people look at him and say, "Oh, is he Aguero?" I don't quite think he is that. Lacazette is actually a very good comparison for me, where he is a striker that likes to link play and he likes to kind of float a little bit towards the left wing a little bit more. He's much more clinical. He's much more ambidextrous with his feet. So if you actually look and you kind of look at his statistics, his shot patterns, he's kind of very equal shooting patterns with left and right foot. So he's a very good finisher, very counter-pressy. The thing is, for me, again, like, strikers behind 4 other priority positions for me. So I think it's just kind of a useless signing in that regard, but he's absolutely better than Lacazette. And Igal, the one thing that I would take from this is we can confirm that our upper echelon for the marquee signing is going to be 65 to 70 mil. That's what I take away from these links, both Maddison and, Martinez. I go, okay, look, in terms of marquee money, we've got 65 to 70 million to play with. But in terms of, getting him and Maddison, I don't think that's smart. In fact, I would actually pose the question to you, Igal, and maybe everybody else in the chat. Say you've got 65.
Can I just see this 1 second?
Yeah.
Means he can use
both footed. Sorry.
Yeah. He can use both feet equally, and he doesn't have either one is as good as his primary.
Exactly. He doesn't have a preference, guys. So, like, he shoots great.
That's a basketball term. They don't get that in football. It's not a football term.
Sorry, guys. And yeah. So what do I say? So I was going to ask you guys a question and kind of flip it on you, right? So say we're going to get Maddison, because I think everybody on the panel agrees we need a creator, right? So I think that 65 mil for Maddison, we can kind of all logically say, let's do it. Would you prefer a Martinez plus a Maddison, or would you prefer a Martinez plus a, let's say, Basuma, Onana, and I think that's probably fair, to be honest with you, because Basuma's 40 million, Onana might be 5, let's say. What would you think would do better for us? The latter scenario with you have a Maddison, Basuma, Onana, or Maddison, Martinez? I know what I'm picking. I'm picking the latter, but I don't know what you guys think.
Okay, I know for a fact Sahal asked a similar question. Sahal, are you taking the striker in the center mid, or are you taking the striker, the goalkeeper, and the center DM?
To be honest, my opinion, I already said my opinion about this situation, even with the cam that I don't believe. I know a cam is probably up there, but I feel like Arteta is going to play Maddison on the left anyway. So my personal opinion is if Arsenal gave me a choice in a weird reality, by a goalkeeper, a right back, and a DM, or Maddison and a striker, I would say any day, any week, any month, I would say buy me the goalkeeper, fix the spine of this team, because that is what's gonna determine wins and losses. Because last season we had so many problems from the right back area, the goalkeeper making mistakes, Xhaka and Nelly making mistakes, Bellerin making mistakes, Danny Ceballos making mistakes. I know he's not here, but I'm just trying to tell you where our mistakes have. Actually, goal scoring was not that much of an issue. Creating chances was, but when Smith Rowe came in the team, we were much better. So I think if you ask me, I would sacrifice a creative goal scoring, all those areas to fix whatever is going on in the midfield and the goalkeeper area and the right back issue. I will 100% fix those issues first, and then move on next summer and let's fix our creative options.
Okay, so George, once again, let me just get this correct. It's Basuma, Maddison, and Onana, or Maddison and Martinez. That's the question, right?
That's the question. Yeah, I was gonna say if you could do a right back, but I think that's unfair.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a poll out. I'm gonna pull out a poll out. I'm just gonna say pick which one do you guys want? Like just pick. And then so same thing going over to you, Willow. But before I go to you, I'm just gonna go to Sir. Sir, who you picking between Maddison and Martinez, or Maddison, Onana, and Basuma?
I'll go with the second one, because the second one with Maddison, Besuma, and Onana, because that gives the team much balance. You understand, from the goalie to the midfield and also to the creating midfielder. You understand. So for me, that's what I'll go for, because getting Maddison in and Martinez, we're just looking at the attacking phase of things. We're not looking at the middle of the park, and we know Xhaka has this day off in his game, and other midfielders there like and Nenny, we can't really trust them. So getting Besuma there is one player I love so much. In fact, he is the top of my list for any player that we should get right now in this team. That's for me the top of my list, Besuma. Yeah.
All right, Willow, what about you? Same question. Who you going for?
I think for me it's easy. Yeah, it's definitely Maddison, Basuma, and Onana, because one, you got to look at the system, what we're trying to do, what we're trying to achieve. Arteta wants a keeper that can play out from the back, and I think you saw it at Man City how they transitioned from Joe Hart to Claudio Bravo to start with, and then Edison. Look how many points they ended up getting for just changing their goalkeeper. How it actually helped change their play and the fluidity of their play. It was incredible. Same with Yves Basuma. Like, you know, what are we trying to do? You want to unlock Thomas Partey. You want to unlock this elite midfielder on getting up that pitch, having more freedom. Yves Basuma does that. He's got the pace. He's got the power. He can sit there. He can protect that defence and protect that midfield while Thomas Partey goes up there and does his thing. So with them two players, it's just such a huge difference. And for me, like, you know, someone like Onana gets you 6 to 9 points him just coming in, the change of the play. Same with Yves Basuma. Someone like Martinez, as George said, he is a big upgrade on Lacazette, but the other two just helps change your system and make the system that we want to be.
And if we're going to be a halfway line defending team, sorry, Igal, like that's super important. The idea that the keeper is going to be a sweeper keeper, that's going to be a new thing that we have to get accustomed to doing, because that's not what we've been doing the last couple seasons. And the fact that we're going to go another 20 yards up the pitch and not stay in our own half, that's going to be huge. I mean, Onana will help us get out of tight spaces, but also he's another person in possession. Onana is one of the best on the market at that, in fact. And also, when you look at Yves Basuma, everybody knows, whoever follows me, Yves Basuma is my guy. That's the one that I keep, that's the guy that I keep kind of pressuring Arsenal to do, because it frees Thomas Partey. But also, when you guys are on a halfway line defending team, you got to think, when we're on the counter much more, which everybody was afraid of at Chelsea, because we saw what happened when you put Mari and Holding back there, who are low block defenders. We need to add athletes in the midfield because we're going to be exposed on the counter a lot more when we are at the halfway line, when we do exert more pressure, when we do get that authority. So yeah, in order to help the kind of fullbacks be overlapping on both sides, which clearly we did at Chelsea too, by the way, one wasn't inverted. Both fullbacks were going up. So I think this new system, in order to help that, you need to get your athletes that will help in the counter. And that's Bissouma and Onana for me. So while, yes, Martinez may give us an extra potency in attack, I actually think we will get more attacks with Onana and Bissouma, but also will be much more solid defensively. So you affect basically 2 areas of the pitch, not just one, with the same finances. That's the big issue for me.
No, I hear that. I hear that completely. And another thing that I wanted to get into, guys, big up to everybody. Yep, we already know Messi's leaving.
Yeah, Messi is leaving. What the hell?
Yeah, we already know that. We spoke about that at the beginning of the video. But yeah. George, I'm gonna break something to you guys. I don't think it's happening. Guys, I genuinely don't think Onana is happening. George, the reason why I don't think Onana is happening is because Arsenal Football Club are not going to pay money for the player who's not played football for a calendar year. On top of that, they want certain assurances if they're going to sign a player, and we don't know how he's going to play. We don't know how he's going to perform. We don't know anything in regards to Onana at the moment. All we know is that there's been links, and we don't know if those links have gotten into the stages where they've spoken to the club. At the moment, it only seems like they've spoken to intermediates, and I cannot take that as serious.
Well, I think they did though, Igal, because at the beginning of the window, I pushed back. I think you're similar to Jess, and the only reason I pushed back is because the very first link, when we remember with this Onana, it came from the BBC of Dutch newspapers in terms of us having contact, not only with Ajax, but also with the player himself. And the reason that I told everybody is because of this ban, he actually can't train with any club until September. That's the issue. And so I always said, why would any club, forget Arsenal for just 1 second, why would Lyon, Marseille, anybody buy Onana and pay him wages to not train? Because he can't train. And so I always felt Onana would be secured if he did leave at the end of the window. And for me, I know you can't guarantee play based off of a year out, but you know what? He's the perfect profile for playing out of the back. And if you look at keepers that are on the market right now, who is better or even equivalent to Onana about playing out the back, it's not even a comparison for me. And so when you have a player like that at £5 million minimum, it's a no-brainer. And I've always felt he's a Kieran Tierney 2.0. What do I mean by that? We all knew that Kieran Tierney was done. But again, we didn't want to pay the wages for the entire summer. So we waited until basically deadline day to seal the deal. And I really think Onana is the exact same thing.
Sorry to interrupt. I know I want to go off topic, but I think it's time to bring a certain player to Arsenal. He's a free agent. He's just announced he's leaving his club.
Oh, don't say it.
Bring Lionel Messi to Arsenal. He's right there. Free agent, bro. Free agent Messi.
I'm not having him on £1 million a week.
I actually think it's also hogwash, by the way. The amount of politics that he's got with La Liga, by the way, to even leave.
Yeah,
exactly. It's another wage.
This could have blowback as well with Lautaro Martinez, though, because Barcelona won. If he was to leave, the double lucky, this is a joke, okay? But this is blows back on Martinez. Will Barca get him to replace Messi now? Because Barcelona now, if this happens, it's going to be panic stations. So what does it mean for Martinez?
No, I don't think they can afford him anyways. If they can't afford Messi,
buy him anyways. Yeah, they can't afford.
If they can't afford Messi, they can't splash 70 million.
No, but just imagine the blowback from fans. Okay, they would demand. They're gonna riot. Trust me, it ain't gonna end well. So
yeah, I think it's kind of hogwash. It's just Messi does this. It'll get resolved. It's just for La Liga. Just think about it. Who's their superstar? Like, in order to replace that as a function of the league, it's ridiculous. It's not just Barcelona. You have to think it's La Liga in general as well, and the Spanish government. Don't kind of kid yourself how much money Messi brings to that economy. So I think it gets resolved in like a couple days.
Just to add quickly, Onana's agent is also Hector Bellerin's agent, so we'll be in close. We've been in close contact with him. Like, we can be in close contact with him throughout the whole summer.
You know what? Let's just get into Onana quickly. Does everybody here think Onana is going to happen? Because am I the only one that thinks this is not possible? Because the club has made it clear that they want an English goalkeeper, and they're willing to spend money to bring in another English goalkeeper. And I know that the players that we've been looking at, they might not even be that great at playing the ball out the back in a Sam Johnston or Ramsdale, as good as some of the best goalkeepers in the world. But Onana is much cheaper than them, and we've actually made formal bids for Ramsdale. That's what makes me think we're not really serious about Onana, man.
It's Okonkwo, mate. Okonkwo got inducted, and so in terms of the homegrown quota, we're not restricted to have that in the backup keeper, right? Matt Ryan was foreign. He's the one that left. So when you're looking at replacing spots in the squad, we don't actually need a homegrown player for that backup role. The one who left was foreign. And so there isn't a necessity to get one done. I hear the links, but I've told everybody the Ramsdale links, I really don't believe. And I mean, for 35 million, almost 40 million pounds, again, Agal, I look at it and I say, it tells me that we've got 40 million pounds plus a marquee signing. That's what those links tell me, not necessarily that we're hell-bent on a homegrown keeper. But, I mean, to each their own, right?
Wait, so, 1 sec. I got one question about that. So if you say you don't believe in the 40 million on buying Ramsdale, that means you wouldn't believe that the 40 million is actually available, like a marquee signing.
No, I do, because then it was also offered with Locatelli. Like,
so you think it's the same money?
No, so I think it's different. Okay. So you've got Martinez and you've got Maddison, who have both been linked, and you've got that as a signing. And then in addition, you've also got, who was linked at the same time, Locatelli and Ramsdale. So you've clearly got this 40 million pound pot for extra stuff, and you've got a marquee pot, roughly 65 to 70 million pounds.
Don't you believe that 40 million was in order to actually replace Granit Xhaka, not an extra amount? I think it was an allotted amount to replace a particular player where they actually really believed, Arsenal actually believed, yo, Granit Xhaka is leaving, let's put the money down for Locatelli and see what happens there. That's what I believe. I think that money was already allotted to a Granit Xhaka replacement, not a like extra amount or a different amount.
Because Ramsdale was bidded at the same time, mate. That's what that tells me. And I never believed that Granit, by the way, and I know I'm a minority here, I never believed that Granit was leaving. Willow knows me. I don't. Yeah. I never believed that he was actually leaving. And if anything, it was the player coming from his side that he wanted to leave. Arteta, and it was never part of the transfer plan for Granit to leave. And it all came from the player. And then as soon as we resolved that, that was never an issue. We never thought we're going to recruit a center mid to replace Granit Xhaka. That wasn't part of the plan. I always felt that we needed another center mid, but it was good. If you had Granit Xhaka leaving, it meant that you needed to buy 3 center mids, not 2. So we've got one in Lukunga, but yeah, that's my opinion.
Guys, this is obviously an Arsenal channel, but this is bigger than just Arsenal at this moment. This is all. This is about football in general. This is actually messed up. This is breaking the internet.
Yeah, Messi. Listen. You've got to see, because this is the greatest player of all time.
I don't. 1 second. Do we all believe this? Is this real news or fake news?
Fake news, because 22 hours earlier he said that he was going to sign his contract. Fabrizio's changed his tune in the last not even 22 hours, but hour.
I'll tell you what. Listen, Fabrizio Romano, don't believe anything he says, because there's a lot of journalists who are better than Fabrizio Romano. I'll tell you that. There's tons of journalists who are better than Fabrizio Romano.
Look, he very well. Something could have definitely blown up.
Samuel, stop doing that, bro. You're making it difficult for the guy to come on the channel.
Look, something could have definitely blown up, right, Agal? Like, something could have blown up, and this is the transfer window. You don't want to. I'm sure, like, you hear it from Terry, from others, right? You never want to preclude an option in the transfer market. But I just think the idea, it's not just Barca here. I think Fabrizio's changed his mind too much. But again, I always go back. La Liga and what they take in from Lyon Messi is crazy. Like, the revenue, the government infrastructure, it's absolutely insane. So, yeah.
Barcelona have tweeted it as well, though, that he's not continuing with Barca.
Has Barca tweeted it?
Yeah, Barca have tweeted Leo Messi will not continue with FC Barcelona.
Okay,
Wow.
then that would make sense.
He's going
Jesus.
he's going to Argentina, brother. Forget. I
No
don't
way,
know.
Barcelona. Oh my God!
I told you. I told you.
Wow.
He's going PSG.
He's going
Wait,
Yeah, he's
PSG.
coming
He's
to
going to
Arsenal.
PSG.
He's coming to Arsenal, lads.
No, wait,
Wow.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
wait a minute, wait.
Willow, did you
wait,
see what I
wait,
put?
wait, guys.
Did you see what I
Wait.
put for PSG? By the way.
What the free? Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay, so you know why PSG? I didn't think that was real, but do you know PSG is 100% doing it? They're going to be playing a 3-4-2-1. They're looking at Neymar, Mbappe, Messi as a front line. All they need to do is recruit Theo Hernandez, and then you've got Verratti, Idris Gueye, or not Gueye. Sorry, yeah, they've got Wijnaldum. I forgot. So you can have Verratti, Wijnaldum, Hakimi. And then you've got Kimpembe, Ramos, Marquinhos in the back, and Donnarumma.
Hakimi also.
So they've won the
Yeah,
Champions
Hakimi's
League.
the wing back. Yeah. That,
Bro.
wow.
So they've won the Champions
This-
League. That's what you're telling me.
Yo, I don't give a shit.
Wow.
What I'm doing is I'm putting Messi in the thumbnail and I'm saying Messi.
Mate.
The clicks will be
Let's be
unreal.
real. Let's be
click.
real. At the end of the day, this is breaking the internet. No one cares about no Arsenal.
Oh my
transfer.
God! Yo,
This
Messi
is
to
gonna be the
Arsenal.
biggest story of the day by far.
Messi to Arsenal,
it's not
confirmed.
It's
Say
not
it,
going
man.
to be easy
Shameless.
for PSG to just snap Messi up. Man City is going to be in for him because they have the money for Harry Kane. Don't forget, they are going
Well,
to be
Pep,
in for
if
him.
Messi's on the market, Pep is
Yeah,
always
Man
looking at
City-
Messi for sure.
Yeah.
Man City and PSG is going to go for a real fight on Messi. That's for sure.
Mate, you know why I
They're
just
gonna go for
don't
it.
think you know why I don't think it'll happen is because I think Kane wants to break Shearer's record. And so Kane, you're looking at basically Kane and Messi for PSG and Man City. Each will get one, I think, in the market. Those are the only two
Yeah,
teams
yeah, that's what I'm
that
saying.
can
That's what I'm saying.
complete.
I just think. I think Man City's first
What
shot
I
right now
would say
is
is that
Messi.
you know, can you
That's
guys
what
hear
I
me?
think.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear you,
yeah.
bro.
Alright,
Keep
wait,
interrupting
just
people.
Man City, all right. What does this mean for the two deals that they're gonna do? Because Man City's Pep's always said he's wanted Messi at Barca.
Well, Grealish is done, right?
Yeah,
And
Grealish
so
is done.
You never know. Like, it could be like Fekir. They could pull the deal with the final.
no,
second.
it's done. He already did his
No,
medical, so
Done,
it's
done.
done.
It's done.
But yeah, mate,
He did
I don't
the first
know.
part of his medical yesterday.
I still think Kane will go to Man City only because he wants to break Shearer's record. And that's the only thing that gets me. But I mean, Levy would want him to go to PSG, right? And
Well, that's
like,
the
if
thing. It could stop it. Like
it
could
could
like,
stop
City,
it, right?
City could go in for Messi, and then, as you said, you'd see the domino effects where now PSG may be going for Harry Kane.
It's just PSG's window is freeze. So like
Yeah.
of the two, if you're looking at two signings, right? Okay, I think it fits PSG's motive a lot more.
Yeah.
I mean, Man City has already
More.
spent the 100, and if you're looking at the motive,
Yeah.
I think Kane goes there. Plus, it fits the Shearer theory that I've got.
Yeah. Yeah. it does.
And then when you really think about it, guys, PSG only need to buy Theo Hernandez. When you think about that,
Do you think they will do? Do you think are they linked with Theo?
Theo Hernandez,
have.
bro, like
They
he's
have.
not good enough, like for PSG for me. Like you mean the one who plays for AC Milan?
AC. I don't think he's good enough, but they've been linked since the beginning of the window, and that's the only position that they need to buy, a left wing back. If they get Messi, it's the only one.
He is very good, Theo Hernandez. He is very good.
He is very good. I like him, but I don't think he's the best on the market. But I like him. And think about it, guys. Like, oh my God, for free, you basically got Ramos, Wijnaldum, Messi, Donnarumma. Or did Donnarumma? No, he was on a free too, right?
Donnarumma was free. Yeah, he was free.
Ramos
That's 4 positions across every single line of your team on a free.
I mean, their
Mad
wage bill
wages.
just out of, yeah, I was going to say their wage bill just out of them 5 signings will probably be about 5 million.
You
No,
know
but they save on transfers. They don't have
Yeah,
to.
Yeah.
what I would
It's-
say about this
I-
transfer window is I've
Well-
said
Yo,
it.
Messi,
I've said it.
Messi.
I've said
Yo,
it a couple
guys.
months ago. I've said it a couple months ago. I
Guys,
said
this
this
is
will be
huge news.
the biggest transfer window in the history of football.
Mate,
Given the links, given the rumors, it is. This is the biggest transfer window in footballing
Messi is
history.
free or what's Messi's free?
And after
Yo,
a
yo.
pre-COVID market too.
Oh.
This is crazy.
Yo,
It's
boys, but Messi is the one player I can say he's worth the wages because he brings so much more that people don't see, like in terms of commercial assets, commercial image rights. This guy's probably worth. You seen Ronaldo when he went to Juventus, the stocks of Juventus went up like crazy.
Yeah,
Messi will do the same.
But imagine Neymar. Neymar worked his ass to get away from Messi, and now Messi follows him to PSG. It's just
No,
funny.
he got Aguero. Listen, he signed Aguero there, possibly to make Messi happy.
Bob,
And now
Aguero.
Aguero's crap.
Yo, Aguero's gonna be stuck in
I forgot
Barcelona.
about that. Aguero went to Barcelona to play with Messi, but technically he still hasn't signed for Barcelona.
No, he didn't. He signed.
Igal, what? I don't know. Okay, look, we're all kind of going, oh my God, to Messi, but what this does to La Liga, I don't know, man. Like, in terms of Messi leaving Barcelona, that team had a huge rebuild. Barcelona's in trouble, like massive, massive trouble. And I think the prestige of the league, when you're losing your big talismans in Ronaldo, Messi now, I don't know what the draw of those Spanish clubs are going to be without that kind of revenue and superstar power. I mean, you're always going to have the pedigree, but mate, those teams are nowhere near what they used to be.
Mbappe is
No,
running
Pepe
down
will
his
join.
contract.
Yeah, he
Mbappe
will
is
join.
running
He will
down.
join. Yeah, he
Mbappe
will
is
join.
running down his
Definitely.
contract because he knows he's going to Madrid. So I think they're going to pick
Yeah.
themselves up. I think
Would
Barcelona will
you?
also look at.
Would you go
I
if,
think
say,
I
Messi,
think
if
also,
Messi comes?
yeah, I think
What?
Barcelona can also battle for Holland next summer. I think it's very, very possible. They'll
Would you
battle to
go,
get
though,
him
as a
in.
youngster? Would you go? Like, this is my question, because now without
It's not about
Messi,
it's not about if they will go. It's Barcelona we're talking about here. Barcelona calls for a player. They go to Barcelona. That's it.
is it the
Mbappe,
You
same
understand?
Barcelona, though? That's my
yeah.
question, because without a Messi and without these kind of talismans holding your team, does La Liga become attractive for a youngster to want to go there and succeed? That's the question, and especially the money in the Premier League, especially
Okay,
looking at...
can I say something here, please? With Messi and
Sure, go
Ronaldo,
ahead.
okay, they made La Liga what it is. Let me say part of they made most of they attracted viewers to La Liga. You understand? More viewers to La Liga because they were superstar players. They changed the fortune of the league and everything. Now we know Holland and Mbappe has that star power in them to get to a bigger level entirely. That is why you could see right now Mbappe is not signing a new contract with PSG because he's already set his sights on Real Madrid. And also Barcelona can we don't expect Messi and Ronaldo to keep playing. They are going to retire. So these clubs are very good in snapping up talents and making them world superstars. That's what they did with Ronaldo.
But mate, don't you think they'll want to join like the big machine of the Premier League right now? Like all the prestige right now and all the money is in the Premier League. And so I think my fear though, and I know that they're on a free next year, and I know Haaland's got his release clause, but if you're Haaland, right, and you're looking at the future, Barcelona, Real Madrid, huge debt too. Even with Messi going, massive debt. Their teams aren't ready to compete. And then you've got the prestige of the Premier League with massive money. We can pay more wages. Do you not see yourself wanting to establish yourself in a team that's much more advanced for more trophies?
The question is, who is going to bid for Haaland? Because right now Chelsea are more focused on Lukaku. Who is going to bid? Because right now, Kane
when those players come on the market, mate, everybody will go.
Because Arsenal is out of it for sure. Arsenal is going to be there. Chelsea is going to get maybe Lukaku this summer. Kane is going to go to City.
Liverpool would love Haaland.
They will not spend that amount. They won't spend that amount. We both know they won't spend that amount on Haaland. They won't spend that amount.
I think, but
they
he's
only spent the money they spent on Van Dijk because they sold Coutinho and other players they sold out.
They do deals. They do deals that they see sell-on clauses for. That's my issue, right? So like when you do look at it in terms of, Ibrahima Konate, right? That was a 36 million pound release clause. I think for a Haaland, you do that. I think you do that for a Haaland for them. And you have to replace Firmino. You have to think their front line is 29, 28. Mane, Firmino.
The only club I see in England that I'm kind of sure that has the capacity of pulling Haaland, it's Manchester United.
United?
Really, because United, because City is attacking. So, but just forget about Liverpool spending that amount on a player. It won't happen. Just forget about it. Liverpool is more.
No,
It's run
Mbappe
like
on a free. Can you imagine Mbappe goes to Liverpool to replace
Yeah.
something
no,
like
he's going to
Salah? Or
Madrid.
Yeah.
I
Mbappe,
don't know.
Mbappe has already signed for me. It's already a Madrid player. Just unveiling next season.
For me,
It's
mate,
already a Madrid player. For me,
yeah. I think I'll let other people get in, but you know what? For me, mate, when Messi leaves, it removes the popularity of La Liga right now. Whatever fake legs that it had right now, it loses the allure. You know what I use it as? It's like the girl in the club, and you found beer goggles on her, and so what somebody that was looking so great. You know, I would say 5-6 years ago, you come back to the club and she's not looking so hot 5 years later. I don't think that attractiveness for
George,
a young talent is there anymore.
George, we once had a season. We once had a season when we had the Invisible in the Premier League, filled with stars, World Cup winners. They all left, and there was a time nobody could predict how the league is going to go.
Yeah,
but they signed in players. And right now we can talk of players like Jack Grealish coming up, Bernardo Silva, good players who come up. So I think Messi and this Ronaldo and they're not going to play all their lives. I tell you right now, mark this. I'm going to say right now, La Liga, they are going to look for gems, and gems is going to make that league special again to watch. That's just it.
As for now, is listen.
Yeah.
Barcelona, this shirt, this final, they deserve this, bro. They deserve it.
They really do. No, they do.
They deserve it. It's been a long time coming. Long time coming. It finally happened. It's over. Well, not over, but now Barcelona are buried.
But anyways, they gained more than us, though. They gained more than us because Messi is quite old right now. Is not 34 or 33? So they gained more than us. So
yeah, definitely.
Imagine Man City versus
fantastic.
Imagine this: Man City versus Manchester United has more stars now than the Clasico.
It does.
Friggin' Chelsea versus Leicester has more stars than the Clasico. Anyways, yeah, let's get back to order. Finally, the last topic of the day. Messi took over the story, but Messi's on a free. What are we saying?
Sign him up. Sign him up.
Bring him here.
I heard he's good. Yo, guys.
No, I'm just joking, guys. I'm just joking.
No. Igal, hear me out. Yeah, I watched some YouTube clips of this guy called Messi. Yeah, I think he's a good player, man. But then again, I saw Shamak look good on YouTube.
Yeah, let's talk about players. Let's talk about players that we're actually linked to. Mateus Pereira moved to Dubai, I think, or Qatar. Which country?
Saudi Arabia.
He moved to Saudi Arabia, so he will not be. How a Premier League team did not buy him, I don't know, but he's gone. So that's not an option for us anymore. And I didn't even want him in the first place personally. So I'm just going to mention that. Brendan Rodgers spoke about James Maddison, guys. And guess what? He was a little bit sweating. He was stumbling in his words. He couldn't really finish the sentence.
My man said, "I believe so," when asked, "Do you think Maddison is staying?" I believe so.
Yeah. So like the way he was speaking, he knows that James Maddison could be leaving, and he does not want to say anything categorically incorrect. So he knows that that Leicester are a selling club. They sold two of their best players to Chelsea in the past. They've sold Harry Maguire, their best center back, to Manchester United, which they're still getting paid for because not everybody just pays cash up front. When they pay cash, they still do it in installments. Don't be stupid. Jadon Sancho is being paid over 5 years, for example. It's not just Arsenal people. Let's remember that. Next, so what he spoke about specifically was how he missed a preseason game because he was having the birth of his child, that the player is committed to stay at Leicester right now, and that he believes that the deal could happen, could not happen. I don't know what he means by that, but we'll talk about it right now. And also, James Maddison, the situation has happened where yesterday there was a bid rejected. I don't know why no one's calling it a bid, because it was a bid. It was maybe informal or formal, whatever you want to say, but there was a bid for James Maddison. What happened was we came in with an offer of player swap deal plus cash, and they said no. So what are we doing now? We're looking to sell Joe Willock to raise the funds to sell my guy here, to buy James Maddison. They're looking at around 70 million. We're looking at starting value around 60 million. There's a difference between 10. I believe that we will try to meet in the middle with some add-ons, hopefully. But at the moment, there's a 10 million pound gap between what Arsenal want to pay for the player and what Leicester want to sell the player for. So here's the information. I've given you all the information. There's going to be another bid. We are very interested in James Maddison. This is no joke. We are extremely interested in the player. It's just, will the deal happen? How long will it take? And when will this deal happen? We don't know. But at the moment, this is the information. These are the facts. You guys take it from as you will. Information has been given to us from the guys like Chris Wheatley. You can see that people from Goal, Football Insider, even I was on the Football Terrace and I was listening to Peter O'Rourke and some of these guys also talking. So credible journalists have been mentioning this deal. It's no longer a joke. You have to take it serious. James Maddison to Arsenal is on. Will it happen? Is a different story. Now let's get into it, guys. We've spoken about all those facts. What's the first thing that you want to hear? The rejected bid. There is no swap deal. There is no such thing as a swap deal happening for this James Maddison deal. They don't want Willock. They don't want Eddie Nketiah. They don't want Reiss Nelson. And they don't want Ainsley Maitland-Niles for the value that we value them at. So at this moment, do you believe that the deal will happen? I'm just going to go road call, and then we will go into it in detail later. Samuel, do you believe it will happen, yes or no?
Yeah, I do. I believe we did make the bid and it's been rejected. Listen, we just got to cough up the money. He's there for the taking. The guy wants to come to Arsenal. It's down to Edu and Arteta if they can get this done. Simple
Okay,
as.
no worries. George, quick and concise. Do you believe that this will happen?
100%. 10 out of 10, not a doubt in my mind. He's not an Arsenal player, end of the window.
Okay. Willow, same thing.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing him in the number 8 shirt.
Yep.
There you go. Muhdin.
For me, Arsenal put the money on the table. I would love him to see as Arsenal player. So yeah.
Okay. Saha?
Yeah, I think 100% is going to happen, but my opinion is going to paper over a lot of cracks, especially if we don't get the other positions in the club, where I believe we're not going to buy a right back or a DM. So I think it's going to paper over a lot of cracks. Arsenal fans will be happy, and we're going to be 8th again next season. So you know what? Nothing much we can do about that one.
I love the positivity.
Oh man, this guy.
It's true, man. Hey, watch next season. Watch next season. I don't understand. I got it more right than you guys. Remember, you guys calling me top 4, so I don't understand. I'm being realistic here, and you guys are just being.
Let him be, bro. No one
I don't understand. I don't understand this. Why are you guys calling me negative when I'm being more realistic than you guys?
Talking about being
It's just
realistic.
ridiculous, man.
Talking about
It's
being
ridiculous,
realistic,
man. Seriously.
I'm on your side when it comes to that, because for me, I feel this is going to be the breaking news of the transfer deadline. Arteta, they'll give him the mic. He'll be like, we wanted to shift players out, we couldn't shift them out, so we don't have enough resources to complete the deal for Maddison. Same old again. It's going to be. So, do you believe the club? I don't believe the club. They're going to go for cheaper options. Players you have never been linked to. You're just going to see get signed, or maybe
we always get our top target, lads. We always get our top target. That's all I'll say. Every single transfer window, we have always got our top target.
And the top target is Ben White.
George, that is not factually correct.
Pepe, Partey.
We don't always get our top target. We always get a target of ours that we want to a certain degree, but we don't get every target. Think about it. We don't get
not every target, every top target. I'm very specific. Our top target of the window.
We didn't get the guys in the past like Sid Morris.
Not over a decade, but in the last 3 years.
I think you need to rephrase it. Not top targets, but we always get our major target.
Since the new regime has come in, we have always received our top transfer target in consecutive windows.
Yeah,
no, but that's not correct. 1 second, that's not correct, because we wanted Awar as our top target.
No, Partey was always the top target.
As much as the media, George, as much as the media spin it in a way to make it seem like Arsenal were not at the table for him as the number 1 target, what we've read and what I've seen tells me differently. So you could say that
He
we've
wanted
not
both, but mate, Thomas Partey was always the top target because we
That is
spent.
not-
It was the
that is
bigger
not
deal,
accurate.
mate. No,
That
no,
is
it
not
is.
accurate in
It
the
is,
sense that
because
if
he
he
was
was
the
our
bigger deal.
George, the reason why I say that is Thomas Partey was always there to be done because because there's a release clause. If your top target has a release clause, you're gonna trigger it whenever you want to trigger it. Of course, I get that. But when it
Yeah.
comes down to it, our top target is the person who we work the most behind and get the most work done. And we spent the majority of the summer working on the Awar deal, which makes me believe that he was the top target. Now we're talking about semantics here, but what I'm saying is when it comes down to the phrasing of what you said, I feel like if you would have just said we always get one of our top targets, either A or B, I get that. But we don't always get our A target.
Like I said,
I'll
Nicolas
say this,
Pepe was the
Jack
top
Grealish.
target.
Jack Grealish was our number one target coming into the summer. If
George,
you
No,
don't
that
count-
was with Champions League,
What do
though,
you
right,
mean?
mate?
No, Rocky Zaha
That was a
on that.
Champions League plan. We always get
let
our
me
top
correct.
target with. Yeah, go ahead, mate.
Let me correct you. I'll say this. Partey's file was already on the table ever since Emery was the coach. Was already on the board. Partey's profile about the player, everything was already at the club because Partey was being mentioned when Emery was coach. Arteta's first choice was always Aouar. You
No, so
understand?
mate, what it was
always
we were
Aouar.
negotiating.
So
I want to
George,
apply context to it because when you're looking at it, the reason we didn't do that is because Aouar was a cheaper deal. You can't go ahead and trigger the Thomas Partey release clause, which, by the way, is £45 million up front if you still were wanting to acquire a Houssam Aouar. It doesn't mean that he was our top target. It was because he was related in a business sense in order to acquire him. In terms of the top target, the most expensive top target of the window in consecutive seasons, we have got it. Thomas Partey, guys, was £45 million up front. That was the biggest deal of the market in that year. The year before, £72 million. Pepe, we always get our top target of the window in this regime. That's facts.
That's not. It's not a fact.
So
because
then who was the top
George,
target
if
in
you
Pepe's
don't know,
season?
if you don't know who their number one target is, they can spin it in a way to always say that they got their top target. That's my point.
But how was Pepe not the top target of that window?
How do you know that Pepe was the top target when we were also linked
Because
to
he was the
Zaha
most
and
expensive
these
one.
players?
He was the most
No,
expensive
but being
one.
the most expensive player doesn't mean you're the top target.
It typically does. It's the most significant player in your rebuild of that window, 100%.
So you're telling me Pepe was our top target that summer,
100%.
and then the summer after that,
Partey.
Partey was our top target.
Yeah, because he was the most expensive one.
So those are the two summers that you're talking about.
In this regime, with Mikel Arteta involved, in this regime, we always get our top target. In consecutive summers, we've done it. This will be a third summer that James Maddison is the reported top most expensive target that we will get in a row. Like, at what point
But
does
George,
that become a pattern?
Aouar was our top target last summer. What are you not understanding about that?
Because he wasn't, mate, because he was a cheaper deal. They were both targets in the window.
We bid 40 million for him last summer. They wanted 55.
We never bid 40 million and he wanted 50. No, we did.
George, we did. Let me state this right here. Last summer, Arsenal saw a 40 million pound bid rejected by Lyon in the closing stages of the window. If you don't remember that, I can get you the
No, I remember that we bid 40 million, but mate, that wasn't up front. That was not the top target.
That's besides the point. That's besides the point.
But what makes your so if we were going to pursue hold on. So let me understand this. If you're telling me that Houssam Aouar was the top target because you feel that there were links to Houssam Aouar from the beginning of the summer, which by the way there were as well to Thomas Partey. They were both in 40 and 45 million pound deals respectively, confirmed bids. Why is it that your 40 million pound bid in installments was the top target, but the 45 million upfront deal was not the top target?
1 second. I'll get this in a second. Pepe wanted the Chelsea transfer, but we had a transfer ban. Pepe can guess what? Hakim Ziyech wanted the Arsenal transfer, but we didn't want Hakim Ziyech. He danced for us for a decade.
You got also as well. Listen, George, you said top target.
One second. Let me just answer his question. First of all, the Thomas Partey deal was triggered on the final day of the window because we always knew that we had to pay up front and we had to trigger that deal. That's hence why we sold Emi Martinez to help fund that deal. Now, two, when it comes to the Houssem Aouar deal, we know that Lyon were not in as good as a negotiation situation as they were the year before. They did not have Champions League football. They did not have a Europa League football. They were down in the dumps. So Lyon could have. We're in a situation where we tried to flex our muscles. It did not work. They did not bid to our. They did not go down to our level. But the player wanted to stay because he saw Juventus as another target. There were another club that were after him. And the main reason why the deal was not happened between Aouar and Arsenal was not because of Aouar, Lyon, or the funds. The reason was because
his brother
fucked up the deal. His brother promised Juventus that he would get an agent that is linked close to Juventus to help them.
But Igal, it was a smaller deal than Thomas Partey. You cannot trigger 45 million pounds while you're still negotiating for another player.
No, but George, you're trying to get caught up in this Aouar fact when the fact of the matter is you said that we get our number one target every summer is a fact, which is not a fact.
It is a fact. No, I said since this regime has come in, we have got our top target, which was Pepe in the first summer, and then Partey for me in the second summer. And then now James Maddison is our top target, and I guarantee you we get it. We can debate. We can debate if you want, but
I feel like when it comes down to what we are told in the media, they can spin it in any way possible to tell us that we get our number one target when we don't actually know who our number one target is.
Agal, do you think we get James Maddison?
I agree. I feel like we will get James Maddison, but I just don't think we are. That statement is correct. That's all I'm saying.
No, I know.
Also, like George, you said that 2018 was the first summer, or 2019. Okay, Pepe was not top target. As you remember, you made constant bids for Wilfried Zaha, and Crystal Palace wanted the money up front, 80 million.
Come on, don't even try to compare that, mate. Look, if you're gonna follow links, you have to think logically, guys. If you're really gonna tell me that Wilfried Zaha was ahead of Nicolas Pepe when on the market, he was the most pursued winger, guys. You cannot follow what links tell you.
No,
you got to think for yourself. It's ridiculous.
I agree with you there. Yo, Samuel, don't ruin my argument by throwing in bullshit.
It's ridiculous.
But Zaha was our top target, bro. Igal, come on. We made constant bids for the guy.
Zaha was dancing for us, just like Hakim Ziyech was.
Let me ask you a question, Igal. Hold on. Let's say I'm wrong and that Houssem Aouar was not the top target. Can I ask you a question? Why in God's green earth are we changing formations this summer and going for a number 10 type in James Maddison if Houssem Aouar was the plan A and top target, which is a 3-man midfield? Can anybody on the panel, if I'm so wrong, say why we didn't go for interior 8s this summer if he was plan A top target? Where's the logic?
Actually, I believe we're not gonna. I think actually we're not gonna change formation because we didn't get our. I think we're gonna stay with the same formation we did last year. But we're not changing with the 3. And I don't think Arteta actually.
That's why he was a top target, mate. That's my logic for it. If I'm wrong, Igal, we should have gone in for 8s this summer. In fact, Houssem Aouar should have been brought in. If you're right and I'm wrong, why isn't Houssem Aouar being heavily pursued?
No. But listen. That's not the point. My point.
Yeah, George, it is.
My point, George, is we don't know who our number one target is. So
but I'm telling you, it's Thomas Partey. You could tell.
We can't say no, but that's an assumption. That's not a guarantee.
Based in fact, though, because if he was our top target, once again, I say, why didn't we go in for him again? And if we lost on our top target, why would you not go in cheaper? It makes zero sense to me.
Okay, guys, let's ask everybody here. Willow, do you believe that we always get our top targets?
Well, in the last 2 years?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Okay, and do you think that Arsenal are always transparent with our top targets and we would know who they are?
Well, at the end of the window, yes. I think if you follow the links as well and the kind of money in, and I think for just an instance, James Maddison, you got to look what makes sense. Like, we've got the number 8 shirt. like attacking mid. And also, if you look at the eras as well, when Bergkamp came in, for instance, like it's kind of the change. And then Mesut Ozil as well. It's like a change of the era, kind of spending 42 million. So James Maddison, for me, yeah, that is the marquee signing. And I think Thomas Partey was the marquee signing last summer. And I think that was the #1 target because we were always going to do that Thomas Partey deal. While that our deal wasn't like 100% always going to happen, the Thomas Partey deal was always going to happen.
I'm just coming from the point of view that George, I understand where you're coming from, but I just don't think that we can categorically say that we always get what we want.
I don't say it across our history. I'm very specific. Since the regime change came in the last 2 years, Arsenal have always got their top transfer target. This will not change this summer. We will absolutely get James Maddison. Does that mean that we get every transfer that we want? No.
George, brother, I want to ask you one question, okay? One quick question. At the moment, there is a position that we desperately want. And that position, there is no much, there's no many Arsenal fans who are talking about. And it's the right back position. Why are we not even talking about that position when we know that just the other day Bellerin, what he was doing, it was the same as what he was doing.
Well, I told Igal, the right back, that we should be doing months ago, Rydell Baku, and everyone seems to kind of agree in terms of it. But that's my position for replacing.
To be fair, you said it before Eduardo Higgins and all these other guys started writing.
Everybody. I was the first one that said
okay, George, this is a bad question. So if, say, Arteta, do you believe Arteta is prioritizing the attacking areas over the goalkeeper and the other areas?
No, I think attacking midfielder and goalkeeper are of equal priority because they don't have anybody blocking them in the squad. And anything else that we do requires sales because there are players physically there bloating. It's not monetary, it's actual bloating of the squad. So goalkeeper, we don't have Matt Ryan, we can get that. Attacking mid, Odegaard's not coming, we can get that. So any other position after that is because we actually have players there. So I think he's prioritizing squad space. It's not necessarily priority positions. Guys, the first people that we sign aren't priority. The people that we sign in the transfer window don't mean that they're priority. And there's no prioritization with it. It's actually about how easy is the deal to do. That's the deals that get done first. Has nothing to do with priority. So for me, when you look at it, you have to think logically about it. And again, guys, I go back. I'm happy to be wrong and with egg on my face. But if you seriously think that Houssam Aouar was the top target last summer, and you're going to refuse to then get a top target after losing out on him the next summer when he's cheaper, it makes zero logical sense to me.
George and Igal, and also the panelists, bro, I want to ask you one other question. Final question. Igal, I want to ask you, will you want Bellerin to start at a right back with the new season, or someone else who is in our squad? Like basically, we know that Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
I think Hector Bellerin will be going on loan after he signs a new contract.
Loan? Why can't he just go, man? He's not good enough to.
I don't think he signs, Igal.
I don't think he signs. Even if he doesn't sign, it's going to be a loan with an option to buy.
Going to be a loan.
It's going to be a loan with an option to buy to Inter because Inter don't have the money. There's nobody in the Premier League wants Hector Bellerin. The Premier League is the only league that actually has funds, and every other league is somewhat in a financial situation. So Inter, if they're going to buy him, they're only going to buy him after they sell Lukaku and they value him enough to give him the money. But they're not going to give us the money. What they're going to say is,
to be fair, Igal, there could be a very big knock-on effect with Lukaku. So this is when I say, I told everybody to be patient with the transfer window because there's going to be a time when the wheels start turning and things start opening up. You give Inter £100 million right now for Lukaku, let's say. That then means that, Atlanta then start wanting to give them their strikers, which is what they're linked with, right? Like Inter will want to buy Carrera and Zapata, who are from Atlanta. Atlanta then has money. Atlanta will then want to buy somebody who is now linked with Tammy Abraham. So when you do have those huge deals, they open up the market massively. So I don't know. You never know. If you get £100 million from Chelsea right now, Igal, maybe Inter turn around and say, okay, we'll pay for Hector Bellerin. You know what I mean? Like things are so crazy right now. I have no idea what's gonna happen, but I think you're right to assume we can't get a right back until Hector goes, but also Ainsley goes. So that's the thing blocking a right back, even though I want one, and I've already said Rydell Baku's the one to go for me.
Yeah, people, do me a favor, smash that like button, guys. How are we not past 100 likes yet? There's over 216 of you guys. If you just take 1 second to smash that like button, obviously not for Hector Bellerin, but if you want Hector Bellerin to leave, smash that like button. Now, Willow, do you think Hector Bellerin will be here first game of the season, or do you think he'll end up going on loan?
First game of the season. I mean, he may be here for the first game of the season. I don't know how long it will take for him to go, but I think he does go. I think you are right with saying I think he does go on loan with an option to buy. Even when Lukaku gets sold, Inter are such a stingy little club that I bet they still do the loan with an option to buy. But hopefully, because we know they've got money, we can have a higher standpoint where we can make the option to buy a lot easier to turn it into an obligation to buy. So, you know, say he plays 15 games and you can turn it into an obligation, or 20 games or something like that. So I do think he does go on loan.
This is a good little comment. These comments are hilarious. Burnley are delighted to announce that Lionel Messi on a free medical will be
4-4-2 with Chris Wood.
Wow, what a team. What a team. What a team. What a team.
Go, look at the tweet I sent you, bro. Look at the tweet I sent you.
Little large.
Yo, actually, talking about Burnley, my money is on Southampton to get relegated. Just so you guys know.
Actually, do we think Southampton gets Eddie Nketiah now that Danny Ings
Nah,
million?
they're after Adam Armstrong. Adam Armstrong from Burnley. Yeah,
Willow, I think it really depends where Abraham goes and West Ham. I know West Ham are very interested in Eddie, and so it depends with that.
Willow, you're funny, bro. Yeah, look at this comment, guys. The man's, how can the guy say Aguero went to go sign with his best friend? Now he's going to be listening to mixtapes with Memphis Depay. Absolute madness.
Wow. That's
this
a vile.
Is going up. Look at how many likes is going up by every second. When I first clicked on it, it was on like less than 4,000.
That's a violation.
Yeah, that's
yo. What's it called? Memphis makes a good mixtape at least. Like, yo, I don't know what that means anymore, man.
They hired a new guy, and first thing he does is get rid of Messi. It's done.
No, listen, it's due to financial fair play, apparently, of the La Liga's rule about financial fair play. So this is on La Liga. They did this themselves. And look, guess what?
MSN is done. Messi, Neymar, Suarez, all done.
And Benzema's the only one left of BBC and MSN.
I don't know, guys. I'm still shook. Like, Messi not in a Barcelona shirt. I don't know, guys. I don't know how I don't know how old everybody is in the chat, but like myself, I'm 26, and I just know Messi at Barcelona. Like, I don't know anything else, and I don't know how I can see him in another shirt because he's not retiring.
No.
So
he's coming to Arsenal, man. Don't worry, man. I talked to Stan Kroenke. He said he's making it happen.
You let him release the funds, eh?
Yeah. Hopefully, man. Hopefully. Hey, be excited. Be excited, man.
I'll tell you something though. Man City fans are spoiled because some of them don't want Grealish now. They are spoiled. Literally one of the most spoiled families.
Yo, guys. There's footage of Messi speaking after finding out that he's going to be leaving. Check it out.
Tough time never lasts. Only tough people last.
I always find that video hilarious.
Tough time never lasts.
That's hilarious. Anyways, guys, we're out here. Honestly, we've been going for an hour and 40 minutes. Thanks, Willow, for coming on. Appreciate my guy, Sir, who came on. Muhdin, Sahal, Samuel, George for making a guest appearance. Big up to everybody who's been joining us for today. Surprise episode. Finding out Messi's leaving Barcelona is quite crazy.
Mad, man.
Yeah. Someone said, can you please give me a James Maddison update? I'm pretty sure we went in depth on James Maddison, did we not? Or
We did.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
kind
we
of did. Yeah.
We did.
okay, yeah,
Just
just
rewatch.
rewatch.
Make sure that you like, subscribe, rewatch, and I don't know the timestamp for you, but maybe 20 minutes back.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go check that out, guys. I'll put timestamps in the video later on. But guys, there's 6 more likes before we get to 100. Just like that button, 2 seconds, and then we get to 100 likes. But yeah, have yourselves a wonderful day, guys, and we're out of here. Peace.
Yeah.